Well, I'm going to get started early today. It's got to just turn 7 o'clock here in the morning. Anyway, the title of the video for the 15th of November is Bad Info Leads to Disinformation. Let me begin by apologizing to those who comment on my videos in YouTube. I do respond, but my responses seem to simply disappear. I don't know why. They seem to work okay in Facebook. Now, there is still a lot of confusion over my stance in relation to the election. I did not and do not support anything in relation to the corporatized, falsely so-called government. It's all fraud. Events are staged, planned by the evil and corrupt people who masquerade as our leaders. This includes the election. Folks, you can believe it or not, but it's all a charade. It's simply false or bad information. I will only throw my support behind the reestablishment of constitutional government which serves the people, not the falsely so-called elite. Obama, the Clintons and Bushes, and yes, Donald Trump are all actors on the corporate stage. Will our lawful government be restored? Frankly, I don't know, but I certainly hope so. Even if it is, it will only be interim, in place until our humanity and natural rights are restored. That knowledge will liberate us from lifetimes of deception and slavery. The election, of course, has been foremost in people's minds. George Soros is still paying people to riot in cities across the United States. And he is one of the most evil people on the planet. He's not a Jew, though he would claim Jewish heritage. He is just a charlatan, as are many of the Jewish leaders that are advisors in our government in the United States and play a dark role around the world and have been doing that for a very long time, dividing and creating strife and a lot of disinformation. They lie, lie, lie. Truth is a foreign concept to them. They will say things that people want to hear, but they don't follow through with what they say. It's all a deception. In relationship to Donald Trump, I'd like to believe that he has made some good points. He has made some good points, but it's still building on a false foundation. The corporate government has to be taken out and the legitimate government restored. Now, on his behalf, and I'm talking about Donald Trump's behalf, he has stood up for the Second Amendment, the right of the people to bear arms to protect themselves. And in fact, he encourages people to bear arms because you can't wait. If you call 911 and you have an emergency, you call 911. You can't wait for the police to get there. And if you are armed, you at least have something to protect yourself with somewhat. Now, I would rather not have anybody armed, including the police, including the government. Weapons to me are an abomination, that anybody would want to take anybody else's life or take anybody else's property or even their value. You know, why would you rape somebody or defame a child? I mean, so many things that happen in the world are just, they don't register for me. But then again, I don't think like the demons do, who feed off of other people's pain and suffering. And is that information or disinformation? I don't know. But I do know by simple observation that something is seriously wrong with the world, where criminals rise to high places and their criminality is ignored by those who are supposed to be enforcing law and order, but it's been totally diverted and totally clouded over so that we don't see the reality. We don't see the truth. And our media has lied to us. In fact, there was a video that I watched yesterday of a news person on, I can't remember, I think it was NBC. I could be wrong there, but was saying it's our fault. You know, we have put out the propaganda and we haven't verified things. We've been just reported what we've been told we were supposed to report. And this is the way the criminal system operates. You know, they've taken away our rights and they hide behind a cloak of secrecy, whereas true government should be wide open. There shouldn't be, there is no need, as I said in I think the last video, there's no need to keep secrets unless you have something horrible to hide. And these people, the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds and the Clintons and the Bushes and the evil cabal, they have been hiding behind a mask for a long time. They have to put on the mask of respectability, I guess, but it's not respectable to people that dig and find out the truth. The truth will set us free. Disinformation, bad information, will never liberate us because it's based on falsehood. You can't be liberated believing lies. And Trump said a lot of things, for example, in his thing that I agree with. But he also said some things that seem very off the wall to me and would be divisive. Somehow we have to find a way to unify and come together in a cooperative state and learn and remember how to love one another, beginning with loving ourselves and accepting responsibility for our own lives, which unfortunately there's a lot of people that have been trained in our culture not to accept personal responsibility, to throw the responsibility on the so-called government and allow their income to be dependent on the government and stuff like that. And the government, has even threatened at times to steal our Social Security, which all of it belongs to us anyway. It's ours, but there's been so much deception, so much, again, disinformation that has been put out there. And I have trouble myself sometimes determining what is true. I mean, I have gone through this year of questioning things that I took for granted as foundational truths all my life. But I question God. I question the meaning of life. I question what the hell is going on when things are supposed to be establishing the kingdom of heaven on earth. Why does it seem to be getting worse and not better? You know, there's a lot of things going on. And I will continue to do my best to share from my heart, my perceptions. I don't have all the answers. I am in a state of query, trying to grasp and learn what the truth is. But I do know that ultimately it's only the truth that will set us free. And hopefully we can create the interim period where we can be reprogrammed, not reprogrammed because that's the wrong word, but re-educated as to the reality of our situation, because that's the truth that will set us free. Thank you for listening, and namaste.